Shalom. All right, Shalom. Let me start off by giving all praises, all glories, and all honors goes unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Bukak Wadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of the Church of Great Millstone. Shalom to all you sincere Akim, you brothers out there prophesying in the true name and in the true doctrine about the times we're in the headed to. Because the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Alright? And the kingdom of heaven is definitely at hand. Right? And we're getting closer and closer to approaching the King of Kings to reveal himself finally once and for all, forever. You know? And he's not gonna meet thee as a man. You see? He's coming in a celestial body, as it was spoken of by the Apostle Paul. Celestial bodies, right? And that's a spiritual ability too, for the Lord to change his vile bodies we have into celestial. Because right now, we are terrestrial. You see? Because what? The scriptures say, flesh and blood shall not inherit the kingdom. We're not going to be in the kingdom with these, defiled, decrepit bodies. All right? We're going to need new bodies. We're going to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments 100%. Right? We're never going to go off, meaning we're never going to die. We are going to be immortal. Okay? You even have animals right now that's immortal. Look at a jellyfish, the way the Lord created a jellyfish. Jellyfish, they live forever. They regenerate themselves. But the kingdom is so beautiful, man. Even looking at the minute things in this world, it's undescribable. We only seen, like the scriptures say, we've only seen a spark of the Lord's creation, of his power. So anyway, with that being stated, I'm gonna start off with the book of, let me put this back a little bit. Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna start off with the book of this is Job chapter 8 verse 7. Though thy beginning was small, yet thy latter end should greatly increase. You see, and when Job, lost all his riches, he gained double back. Everything he lost. And the scriptures say we shall receive, I believe in the book of St. Mark, we shall receive 100-fold. We're going to receive much more, man. That's why the Lord said, store up your treasures in heaven. See, because everything here is temporary. Everything in this world, this society, is temporary. Now the earth itself abides forever. The earth itself is going to continue forever. But the kingdoms that's ruling here are going to pass away. Even the vision of Daniel, speaking about the different kingdoms that rule, that will rule, and the ones that's going to be destroyed. We're at the feet of it. All right? Let's get the book of Proverbs. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, verse 4. One generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever. See? There you go. So, the earth is always going to be here. The Lord is not going to utterly destroy his creation and his people. Scriptures tell you that. Have God cast away his people? Roughly paraphrasing. No, God forbid. You see? Because what? His name, Yahweh Shai, he is the deliverer. Why would he cast away his people and then come back? It wouldn't make any sense. We are the kingdom of heaven because it starts with us. You see? So let's get straight into it, man. This is the book. I'm going to start off with the book of Sirach. Not Sirach, the book of 2nd Esdras. I'm going to start off with 2nd Esdras chapter chapter 6. We're going to start at 55. And it reads, it says, all this have I spoken. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 6 verse 55. It says, all this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes. Right? Let me get that real quick. For our sakes. You see this, the menorah. For our sakes. Not, and that's the earth. You know what I mean? The dominion over the lands. Right? Because these elites, you got Bill Gates and them buying out farmlands and telling people to resort to synthetic beef because they want to rule fully the food. They want to rule fully the economic system. That's why they're coming up with a digital currency, because it's all for full control, right? You get fines if you plant over here, if you go to this land. You see? The scriptures speak about a land Sabbath. The scriptures speak about how to govern the earth, how to govern yourselves, how to govern, and we're gonna have to teach these other nations. Well, they're gonna fall in line through fear. They're gonna fall in line through the power, But we're gonna have to use them to rebuild. We're gonna have to rebuild, to restore the kingdom, because in order for the kingdom of heaven to be established on earth physically, right, as the scriptures say in the book of Daniel, the 7th chapter, how we shall take the kingdom and possess it forever, even forever and ever. How are we going to take the kingdom? We're going to have to destroy this place. A controlled demolition, right? It has to be wiped out clean. All the kings of the earth is going to be put back into their place, and the earth is going to be restored in righteousness under the law, statutes, and commandments, and under the power of the elect out of the house of Israel, the tabernacle of David, when Yahushua comes back. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sake. Right? So the Lord created the earth for our sakes. And real quick, you know what? Yeah, let's get 2nd Ezra 5 and 27 right fast to back it up. It says, 2nd Ezra chapter 5, verse 27, and among all the multitudes of people, thou hast gotten thee one people. Right? So that he's specifying. You know what I'm saying? One people. And to back that up, you could read the book Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 8. It says, and unto this people whom thou lovest, thou gavest a law that is the proof of all. Alright, so that's straight to the point. Can't go around that, man. So back to 2nd Ezra chapter 6, and I'm going to start at 56. It says, as for the other people, which also cometh of Adam, right? Because you had many different nations, families of the earth that sprang forth. Because even when you go back to the book of Genesis, the 5th chapter, it speaks about what? The Adamites, right? And the Lord, after the time of Pangea, which all the lands was all connected, right? After the flood, you see, after the flood that destroyed the earth, the first death, it separated these lands. So that's how the Lord, put these different families, these different other nations unto their own lands and gave them their own languages. Shalom to the brothers on the comment board. Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah. Alright? So it says, as for the other people, which also cometh of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing but be like unto spittle, and has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. And now, so they're nothing. They just said that. They hold no weight. They're going to be servants. Just like how we're servants now, they're going to be servants. That's their natural estate. You see? It says, and now, O Lord, behold, these heathens which have ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be lords over us and to devour us, right? Because you got Lord Rothschilds, you got these fucking Queen Elizabeth, I mean, which the scriptures tell you that a woman shouldn't have no authority over a man, you know? You got queens and kings, and hey, the scriptures say I've seen servants upon horses, which means you got the servants that's ruling in power right now, only because the nation of Israel have forgotten their power. But see, the Lord is bringing us back to our power, and He's bringing us back to our remembrance of who we truly are, and who our power is, His name, you see? And we're going to be ruling in dominion over the earth again, and we're going to get into it. Verse 57, and now, O Lord, behold, these heathens, which have ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to rule over us and to devour us. But we, thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten Son, begotten, and thy fervent lover, are given unto their hands. If the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance which with the world? How long shall this endure? Right. So even when Yahweh Shai was on the scene, they asked him, how long? The disciples, right? They asked him, how long? Pursuing St. Matthew chapter 24. They wanted they wanted the kingdom of heaven to be established right then and there, but it wasn't that time yet. You see, Yahweh Shai told us, when you see these things come to pass, when you see wars and rumors of wars, we hear about it, great pestilence, great famines, when and even John the Revelator, when the hour of temptation comes, World War III, when it hits in a full, in a great global scale, that's how we know we at the end. And that's it, we here. You see? And that's how you know by restoring the kingdom of heaven that's going to be done on earth physically. You're seeing the Lord crumbling through these kingdoms that's ruling now, through a way of prophecy, through a way of plagues, famines, droughts, a house being divided against itself, like it tells you in the book of Acts chapter 5 verse 38. If this house, or roughly paraphrasing, or this counsel be of men, it shall surely come to naught. Right? So, hey man, so with that being stated, let's get to the fun part. Right? Let's get Isaiah, the first chapter. Okay? And we're gonna read at verse 21. And it says, because we know that what? The Esau, like the scripture said in the Apocrypha, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So Esau is the forefather of these Edomites, which in modern day terms are known as the Caucasians. You see, these elites that's ruling, you know, Edomites, these Zionists that rule over the lands, the money, the gold, the information that's being brought out, right? Hey, Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. But soon we're coming to a transition period, because it tells you in Deuteronomy, I believe 30, if a brother could get it, how the Lord is going to bring the curses that's on us. He's going to bring it upon these heathens. Tables is turning right now. All right? So this is what we're looking for. Isaiah chapter 1 verse 21. How is the faithful city becoming harlot? It was full of judgment, righteousness, logged in it. But now murderers. Thy silver is become dross, thy wine mixed with water. Thy princes are rebellious, and companions are thieves. Every one loveth gifts, and followeth after reward. They judgeth not the fatherless, neither doth cause of the widow come unto them. Therefore saith the Lord of hosts, meaning the Lord of armies. It says, the mighty one of Israel. Ah, I will ease me of mine adversaries and avenge me of mine enemies. Right? Verse 25. And I will turn my hand upon thee and purely purge away thy dross. So the elect, right? Because there's going to be a governing body. And we've seen the Lord waking up that governing body now through the apostles on down, the men of the Lord that's prophesying in the true name and the true doctrine in sincerity and in truth. And that's restoring what? The tabernacle of David, which we're going to get. All right, we're being set up before the eyes of our enemies. Oh, the brother got the precept, ATR and all, 2, Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 7. And the Lord thy God, Salakia, the Lord thy God will put all these curses upon thine enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee, right? So, who are the enemies? You got to know who the enemy is to understand who the scriptures is talking to and how to be able to combat, right? Spiritually, you know. But, all these curses that's upon us, Deuteronomy 28, you know, which our people, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native and Seminole Indians, right, which are the biblical Israelites, the 12 lost tribes, everything we're going through, poverty, killing each other, committing adultery on each other, envying each other, you know what I'm saying? Being in the lowest predicament, right? These scriptures, hey, we're not going to be in these predicaments no more sooner or later, right? The Lord is going to put that on them because soon they're going to be the servants. Pursuant to Revelation chapter 2, verse 25 and 26. It says, and take away all thine sin, and I will restore thy judges as at the first. Right? Because when you read about the book of Kings, the book of Judges, you see those were Israelites. And you had righteous judges, you have righteous kings, you also have wicked judges and wicked kings. And, by the sins and the downfall of our forefathers, we take that upon ourselves now, that burden. But the Lord is going to restore his judges and restore his kings, which he's doing now. Look at the apostles. Scriptures say I will set up the apostles last. And the Lord's given us the understanding, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding in the scriptures, knowing that we're the Hebrew Israelites, bringing back the language, putting the spirit back in us to be those ministers, to be those priests, to be those judges, because we are a nation of priests. And the kingdom starts with us first. All right? We declare it, and now the prophecies go out, and then the Lord, and that's when Yahweh is able to come back, so the kingdom could be restored physically. It says, and I will restore thy judges as at the first, and thy counselors as at thy beginning. Afterward thou shalt be called the city of righteousness, the faithful city. Zion shall be redeemed. Zion shall be redeemed. You see? It says, and Zion in the Hebrew is what? Tzayon, meaning monument. The Lord is setting up the monuments. The scriptures refer to even his men being what? As pillars. Right? So Yahweh through Yahweh Shai gave us the blueprint to be able to restore, to be able to rebuild. It says, and Yahweh Shai himself is what? Is that he's that architect. It says, restore thy judges at the first, and thy counselors at the beginning. Afterward Thou shalt be called the city of righteousness, the faithful city. Zion shall be redeemed with judgment, and her converts with righteousness, and the destruction of the transgressors and the sinners shall be together, and they that forsake the Lord shall be consumed. Let me raise this up. All right, so let's get the book of this is Isaiah chapter 2. Verse 1. Isaiah chapter 2, verse 1. And it says, the word that Isaiah, the son of Amos, saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem, right? The two tribes, the northern and the southern kingdom, says, and it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it, right? Because the mountains, is the highest of all hills, and mountains are referred to as like governments, and hills are like the lower governments, and even America referred to as the valley of the shadow of death. The valley is beneath the hills. It's the lowest part of the land. You see? So, hey man, and this place is bitter. That's what America means, bitter. This place is the valley of the shadow of death. Great confusion and, wickedness. Right? That's how this place was built upon. By bloodshed, by lies, secret societies, corruption, wickedness. You know? It says, and many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountains, the mountain of the Lord, to the house, Salakia, to the house of the God of Jacob. Jacob is our forefather, Yahweh. It says, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law. Like we read in Second Esdras, how the Lord gave the law unto one people. But this law is going to be upon the face of the earth. Scriptures say, every knee shall bow. It says, and he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war any more. O house of Jacob, come ye, and let us walk in the light of the Lord. So there's not going to be any more wars and, death, and there's not going to be any more, none of that. Right? Even the nations are going to be in order amongst that governing body of the 144,000 that shall rule in righteousness under the laws of the Lord. See? Everything is going to be in order. The earth is going to be in its order. And we're going to get into that. This is the book of Isaiah. Slakia. Isaiah chapter 4, verse 4. When the Lord shall have washed away the filth of the daughter of Zion, and shall have purged the blood of Jerusalem from the midst thereof by the spirit of judgment and by the spirit of burning. And we're seeing judgment come, man. We're seeing, how we're being washed. How we're being washed by the water of we're being washed by the water of the word, like it tells you in Ephesians. Because knowing this brings us back into order. And when you're in order, you're able to restore things, you know. This is Isaiah chapter 11, verse 6. It says, And we're gonna even be in one, in unison with the animals of the earth. Let's read it. The book of Isaiah chapter 11 verse number 6. The wolf also shall dwell with the lamb. You see? So there's the animals is not the animals are even going to be at peace with each other. You know, there's not going to be any animals that herbivores turning into carnivores. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to have no deers fucking eating flesh. You're not going to have no um, you know, hey man, even the animals are gonna need Yahweh Shah to come back. The trees shall rejoice. You know, the trees is suffering. You know, you're not gonna have animals leaving their habitats. Fucking, you know, it's that's out of order. See, the scriptures tell you what. As a matter of fact, let's get this real quick and we're gonna jump back. That's the spirit. Order must be restored upon the earth. There's not gonna be no concrete on the earth. That suffocates the earth. There's something called the land Sabbath. There's gonna be no chemtrails, no fluoride water, no GMO seeds, and none of that, man. None of that. Man-made trees. Fuck out of here. You know? This is the book of Psalms. Sirach here. I passed it. This is the book of Psalms. I'm gonna try to be quick. I believe it's in 85. Psalm, here it is. No, 82, verse 5. Psalms chapter 82, verse 5, it says, they know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. Everything's out of course. You know? Now they want to keep the whole daylight saving thing, you know, which is spiritual because the Lord said he would speed up the times for the elect's sake. But even with that in itself, is like, it's still out of order, regardless. You know? It's going to be darker, more. The scriptures speak about how we're going to shine. There's not even going to be any need of the sun. You know what I'm saying? It speaks about how the wise man, that his face shall shine. You know? So it says, but back to Isaiah chapter 11, verse 6. It says, the wolf also shall dwell with the lamb. You know, and spiritual, because what? We are like lambs. We are sheep sent forth among wolves. Because you always got preys and predators. You know, you're not going to have that anymore. You know? It says, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid. You're going to have kids playing with leopards, bro. You know, how King David played, he wrestled with bears, wrestled with lions. You're going to have kids. Not children, kids. You know, under the age of 12. Because when they turn 12 and up, they're referred to as, you know, being men. But it says, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid. So you have kids playing with leopards, bro. It says, and the calf, and the young lion, and the fatling together, and a little child shall lead them. You're going to have little children leading lions. Now you got bears running up in people's homes, people fleeing. You know, you got people, because we had dominion over the animals at one point. They respected us. You see? We were rulers over them. Now you got motherfuckers running when they see a snake or a mouse. But you're going to have children leading young lions. It says, and the cow and the bear shall feed their young ones shall lie down together, and the lion shall eat straw like the ox. And the suckling child shall play on the hole of the asp, and the weaned child shall put his hand on the cockatrice's den, and shall not hurt nor destroy it all my holy mountain. For the earth shall be full of the knowledge of the Lord, as the waters cover the sea. So the earth is, the knowledge of the Lord is going to be from one end of the earth to the other. See? Because the animals are in order with the Lord. See, just like how the Lord sent out ravens to send manna from the sky, how the Lord sent the angel to shut the mouths of the lions. It's all spiritual. It says, verse 10, and in that day there shall be a root of Jesse which shall stand for an insight of the people. It says, which is what? Our power. You know, to it shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorified, and it shall come to pass. It's like here, where I left off. Okay, and it verse 11, and it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left. All right, you know what? That's let's jump down to verse 12, and he shall set up an insight for the nations, shall assemble the outcast of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. The envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. So, you know, these tribes of the earth, you know, are not going to war amongst each other no more. Our people are not going to war against each other anymore. You see? Because what? We're going to be at peace with each other again, man. You know, because that's part of the curses. You know, having an evil eye towards your brothers. But Deuteronomy 28 and the 15th verse speaks about the blessings that's going to come. Let's get Isaiah chapter 60. And all our people that's going to have to, you know, get their judgment upon this, you know, have to be put to death and be judged on this side. When we repopulate in the kingdom, like the scripture say, be fruitful and multiply, you know, everybody, every spirit is going to come back, right? Something called reincarnation, regeneration. See? And Yahushua spoke about the regeneration. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 60. It's a lot of meat on this. But let's get to it. It says in verse number 10. It's locked. I'm just trying to adjust this camera to have it. It says, and the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. Therefore, right, because that's when our kingdom is going to be established. You know, we're going to have these other nations, you know what I mean, built up the cities, built up our cities, built up the temples, built up all of that, you know. We're going to have these heathens carry us. We ain't even going to walk. Motherfucker carry me, my feet. You know what I'm saying? And the scriptures even speak about that. I believe Isaiah, what is it, the 14th chapter? And the Lord, and the scriptures even say, I shall give thee the heathen for thy possession, roughly paraphrasing. Right? Because what's a king without servants? Are we not servants now? Right? Verse 11, it says, therefore thy gates shall be open continually, right? Because we're not going to have to worry about war anymore. We're not going to have to worry about, in some, for example, I'm over here in Florida, some places, areas, they leave the doors open. I'm from the city, so I'm like, yo, you wildin', leaving the doors open. Because people in that facility all know each other. They're, in a sense, right? We're going to, because in the ancient times, the gates, right, when they built up walls, it was a form of protection, right? So it said in the kingdom, it says what? Therefore, thy gates shall be open continually, they shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yeah, those nations shall be utterly wasted. The glory of Lebanon shall come unto thee, the fir tree, the pine tree, and the box together, to beautify the place of my sanctuary, and I will make the place of my feet glorious. The sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee, and all they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet. You see? And if you look at that movie, damn, it's Goodbye Uncle Tom. It's hey, that shit brought tears to my eyes, because it shows you how these elites and every single one of these other kingdoms, these other nations, Lebanon, the Assyrians, right? Even Nineveh, the Egyptians, the Moabites, the Ammonites, the Edomites, the even the Japhites, the Persia, the Persites, all these different kingdoms had a taste in having dominion over the Lord's people, the house of Israel. So we're going to possess all of them. And that's, hey, he that leadeth in captivity shall go into captivity. That's righteous. Y'all all did it unto us. Y'all all had a hand to us. Y'all all jumped us. So now when Yahushua come back, which is referred to as the King of Kings, he's going to rule all his men. 12,000 shall come out of each tribe. Alright? And we shall rule them with the rod of iron. Revelation chapter 2, verse 25 and 26. Brother could put that up on the common board for the sake of edification. You see, so they're all, like the scriptures say, they're all gonna bow down unto us, man. Rightfully so. We doing it now, and we the first, and we the ones that was given the covenant. Come on, man. So you think the Lord is just gonna allow his men, allow his people that was made beautified in the image of our power to live under our possessors like this forever? Fuck no. It says, and they shall call thee the city of the Lord, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel. Zion meaning to Zion, right? So we're gonna read that verbatim. We're gonna read that. No, I read it verbatim already. We're gonna read it in what it means. The Zion of the Holy One of Israel, meaning the monument of the Holy One of Israel, right? Yasha'Allah, the princes of the power. So the monument of the Holy One of the princes of the power, which is what? Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Akar Kodash. See? As a matter of fact, let's get that being stated. Let's get the book of Amos, chapter 9, right? Now I got a couple scriptures. I'm closing it off. I'm just flowing through the spirit, man. It's the book of Amos, chapter 9. And I'm going to start at verse 11. It says, in that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, right? Because what? We have fallen as a people, as a nation, as a kingdom, right? You know, by our people, you know, going, breaking all the law, statutes, commandments, worshiping other gods, you know, so on and so forth, right? And, you know, we've fallen, but the Lord is raising up the tabernacle of David now by bringing us back to our remembrance, by restoring us first through the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and pouring his spirit back unto us, you know, because it starts with us first. You see? It says, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old. And it's heavy because what? The scriptures say how the feeble shall be as David. And what? We're feeble now, right? We have become weak. You know, our people have become weak, you know. You know, we become weak in the flesh, spiritually weak, morally weak, you know. All you know, the whole nine, man. But now we're being made strong again. Though we die in this earth, we die in this society, we yet now with this word we live. So it says, and I will build it as in the days of old, that they may possess the remnant of Edom. There we go with that, the remnant again, and that possession. Because are we not possessed now? We got a social security card. You know, we can't even plant in our own land, backyard, if not we get fines. Right? You got to work to eat under another man. You see? And all these different middle class, these heathens that owns these little shops, coming over here getting like $20,000 grants. You know? How are they making people? I mean, how are they making fluctuating and made rich through the blood, sweat, and tears of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native and Seminole Indians, which are the biblical Israelites, that are yet in their captivity today. Egypt, bondage. But what? Tables are turning. They're going to serve us, right? They're going to work for us. They're going to bow down to us and build up our temples, our buildings, you know? And when they go off, right, we're going to have to put them in their place. We're going to have to put them back in order, you know? Every knee shall bow. And we're going to rule them with the rod of iron to possess them, you know, as kings, you know? Because that governing body that the Lord is raising up with his men now, you know, it's going to be ruled in righteousness. So let's, it says, and possess the remnant of Edom and all the heathen which are called by my name, saith the Lord, that doeth this. Now let's get Jeremiah, right? This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30. I'm gonna start at verse 7. It says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, right? But he shall be saved out of it. You know, the remnant is going to be saved out of these troubled times that are coming, man. It says, verse 8, for it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck. We're not going to be in captivity no more, man. And will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him. But they shall serve the Lord their God and David their king, whom I will raise up unto them. So the kingdom is going to be restored in order. Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, King David, right? The apostles, the 144,000, the 1/3, the remnant, and it's going to be restored. The whole earth is going to be restored. But what after that? There has to be a controlled demolition to be able to rebuild, to be able to build back better. That's the real reset. You motherfuckers, you. All right. Anyway, let's jump down to verse 16, right? Jeremiah 30, verse 16. We're going to jump, and it says, Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity, and they that spoil thee shall be spoiled, and all they, Salakia, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. For I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith the Lord, right? Because we've been brokenhearted, We've been brokenhearted. We've been, going through hell for so long. That's Isaiah. The brother put up a scripture, Isaiah. Yeah. Laid down, the fellas is come up against us, right? Isaiah 14 and 8. Because the trees, the earth is going to be restored. But it says, let's read on, it says, and verse 17, it says, For I will restore health unto thee, and will heal thee of thy wounds, saith the Lord, because they called thee an outcast, saying, This is Zion, this is the monument of the Lord. The Lord is dwelling in them, right? Saying, This is Zion, whom no man seeketh after. So the whole world looks down on the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, right? But guess what? That's why that's why this word, the Israelites, has been gone out abroad. The name is being known and declared from the rising of the sun to the setting of it thereof, from one end of the earth to the other. Even the animals in the deep sea are hearing the name of the Lord being declared. They even being made ready. The trees are praising him. Come back. These people don't get it. We've been made an outcast for how long now? And the Lord had us that way. So throughout our pain and agony and stress, forcing us to come back, the Lord bringing us back to our remembrance, teaching our people, the remnant is going to be saved out of it. Though the scriptures say all Israel shall be saved, eventually the ones that get judged on this side and put to rest, eventually they're going to come back. The spirit comes back in the new bodies. And they're going to learn, and they're going to, since from the youth up, Verse 18, Thus saith the Lord, Behold, I will bring again the captivity of Jacob's tents, and have mercy on his dwelling places, and the city shall be builded up her own heap, and the palace shall remain after the manner thereof. Because over there, our land, Jerusalem, Yarashalom, if I'm saying it correctly, meaning the city of peace, it's not peaceful over there. They got one of the biggest parades over there, if you understand what I mean. That place is out of order. The Lord got to destroy Israel. The Lord's going to destroy a lot of different lands. But America, Babylon the Great, is going to be completely a wasteland through a way of thermonuclear fire. Anyway, let's get Ezekiel. It's already 15th minute mark. That's all right, though. Let's get all these scriptures out. Ezekiel 36. As long as, bring this word out, man. That's what matters. This word must come out. Every word. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 36, verse 24. It says, "For I will take you among the heathen and gather you out of all countries and will bring you into your own land." So the Lord is going to bring us into our own land when he, delivers his men through a way of those chariots. Right? We're not going to fucking take a plane and go over there like, no. You got to wait on the Lord. Because you go over there in Jerusalem and Israel today, you still committing wickedness. So, what benefit is coming out of that? You know? Talking about we saved already. Hey, man. It says, "Then will I sprinkle clean water upon you, and ye shall be clean. From all your filthiness and from all your idols will I cleanse you." All right, let's get the money scriptures. We're gonna close off. I like to save the best for last. Yeah, but 50 minutes in, a lot of people won't hear the. It is what it is. This is the book of Revelation. This is the book of Revelation.